Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. Going to continue on again tonight on the transmission build. Wasn't able to get out here the past couple of days. I did make it out there to get my extension housing taken care of as far as intermediate shaft shim, which is right here. And then also the apply piston shim, which my new one is right here. This is the old one. This is a 194. And then this one here is a 168, 170 shim. I'm going to take him this shim out there just so he has it in case he would ever need it. And then also I'm going to take this intermediate shaft shim to him also. These just spread apart right here. And then you're able to slide it off the spline shaft and put your new one on. Let me tell you, one of the things that I enjoy the most on doing this kind of stuff is this gentleman is semi-retired, and it was just really cool to go out to his shop. He's been in business for years upon years upon years. Like I said, he's semi-retired. He does just a little bit on the side, some of the older stuff. He does not get into any of the newer stuff, and he said it had been years since he had done a 518 47 RE. And it was just enjoyable to absorb the knowledge and the energy that just oozed out of the walls of the shop, and to listen to him talk and teach me a few things. And then he said that I actually reminded him of a few things on doing these transmissions. He was kind of skeptical in the beginning of me doing it myself, but by the time I left the shop, I was there probably a good hour and a half, 2 hours. He was confident in the fact that I was doing, you know, on the right track, so that made me feel pretty good. So he taught me a couple of things on what to look for, and it was just a awesome experience. I showed him how I gained my measurements for shim thickness, and he pretty much confirmed how I did it. But in doing that, he had that 6311 tool that goes across, and then also the other tool that goes, I can't remember the number of that one, that goes down inside where your intermediate shaft goes, to be able to measure your shim thickness. If you don't have the proper shim thickness, your intermediate shaft is going to bottom out down in there, and you're going to have premature failure of transmission and parts and stuff like that that you don't want. So tonight we're going to get the extension housing put on. We're going to check the end play of the input shaft, get the transmission end play all set up. He let me borrow a cool little tool that he showed me how to use. This is one way to do, there's a couple of different ways to set up your input end play, your input shaft end play, and this is one of them here by removing the pump. And then the other one is, obviously it has to be the extension housing has to be bolted in place to be able to do so. So right now we're going to get this put on, and then we're going to mess around a little bit with the end play. Alright, this is an apply piston that goes in your overdrive extension housing. It sits right up in here like this, in the back of the transmission. So we're going to go ahead, if you guys have not saw any of the previous videos and you want to check them out, I'll put a link up here for the playlist for the entire 47 build. We are going to put new lip seals in there. You want to make sure and put them on the right direction. You can see this lip seal has a little edge on it, and on this here, this lip seal needs to be pointing down, just like I took it off. Both these lip seals will point down. So you'll work your way around just like that. And then before I put it in the case over there, we'll put just a little bit of transmission fluid around the whole thing. Same thing with the inner lip seal. Pull it out, put the new one in. Both of these face the same direction, which is down. Right now it's up. But within the transmission itself, it'll be setting like that. So like I said, these will be facing in the up position when you're putting them in, or in the down position when you're putting the apply piston in the transmission. Take just a little bit of transmission fluid. Get that lip seal good and lubed up. And we'll take it over there to the case and put it in. Alright, over here on the case, this is your apply piston housing or backing or transmission backing. This gets bolted to your main case. You can see there's two little females right here, and then these two little tabs will go inside those females. So you'll make sure and line those up. Walk your center one around first. Get that started, and then you can go and walk your outside around. Just like that. Sometimes it's a little pain in the butt to get them in there. You can see I only spin that far, so I know I'm inside those little female rings. Take just a little bit of transmission fluid, put on my spacer, set it in place. Take the Torrington bearing, set it on there. And then we're ready to put the extension housing on after we change the intermediate shim. Put your new one on, you just spread it a little bit. And it's in place just like that. Now we're ready to go ahead and set the overdrive housing on there. With that in place, we can go ahead and torque all of our bolts to 25 foot-pounds, making sure your gasket's all in line. The ATSG manual does call for a Loctite of some sort. This is Permatex. It's just a medium strength blue Loctite. The Loctite is a 242. They actually call for the 242 in the manual. But the place I went today only had the Permatex, so we're going to use it. Alright, with that on and torqued, I don't know if I'm going to put my speed sensor in yet. I'm just afraid of when I move the transmission around of breaking it and dropping it or knocking it off, because it is plastic. It's a Dorman product. There's the part number there for the speed sensor. Like I said, it's an all plastic piece, so I'm not certain if I'm going to put it in yet. I might just leave that open, maybe stuff some rags in there or something, I'm not sure. Give you a little sneak peek of some stuff back on the table. Oh, one more thing. There we go. I did get my front band adjustment done too. I went and picked up, or I borrowed from work, a 8-point socket, which if you look right there, see how it has the square in it? It's a 5/16 8-point, and that fits on there nice and tight. So everything is good to go as far as front band adjustment. Remember, this is 72 inch-pounds, and then back it off 1 7/8 turns. I backed mine off 1.5 turns. And then as far as the rear band adjustment, it's 72 inch-pounds also, and then you back it off 3 turns. I went 2.5, just because everything's new. There's going to be some stretching, so I made it set it just a little bit tight. Right now we're going to get the transmission turned over on the tail shaft, and then we'll go ahead and continue on with the end play adjustment. Alright, I have everything set up to check my input shaft end play. What I did is I took a magnetic base. Your pump housing is cast steel, so it works out well. The rest of this is cast aluminum. I take a magnetic base, stick it to there, bring my needle gauge and set it right on top of the input shaft. I usually set it right around 5 or 10 thousandths, and then mine has a little set screw right here that I can loosen it up and set my gauge back to 0. That way I know I'm touching. If you try and set it at 0, you may be off a few thousandths. So this way, if you go over, then turn it back. If you're able to do that, then you know you have good positive contact to your input shaft. And I'm right there on the flat surface. So next thing you're going to want to do is either grab a pair of soft jaw vice grips or vice grips with soft jaws on them and pull up on this, or you can put a pry bar right here in between your rear drum and your sun shell and pry up on it, and that will give you your reading right there. You want to be between 34 thousandths and 86 thousandths. So right now we're going to go ahead and check and see what kind of clearance we do have as far as our input shaft end play. Also remember to have your transmission up on, when you have it up on end, have it so your output shaft is completely untouched. Otherwise you're going to get a false reading. Like I said, you want to put a pry bar right in between the sun shell and the rear drum and go ahead and pry up on it, and we'll see what we have. Looks like we're right about 36 thousandths. 35 to 36 thousandths. That's 2 thousandths within spec. You want 34 to 86 thousandths. I have a 69 thousandth spacer in between on the input shaft now on the back side. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and pull the pump out and put just a little bit thinner spacer in there. But like I've said a couple of different times, everything is new. Things are going to wear a little bit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it set tight. I mean, it's 36 thousandths, so we're within spec. All right, one other way you can check this is with this H gauge right here. What this is just what it says. It's called an H gauge. With the pump out of the housing, you take and set this on the lip down inside here on top of your gasket. Take your pump, turn it upside down on the bench. You set this on that lip. You take this needle, you loosen this up. This needle will drop down to the top of the input shaft. Go ahead and tighten everything up. You take it over to your pump. You turn it upside down like that. And then you measure your distance. Say if that's the pump right there, you measure your distance in between the top of the pump and the needle on the shim, and then that is the that would be your input. That would be your input shaft end play. Like I said, this one right here is set at 36 thousandths, 35 thousandths, so I'm 100% happy with that. I'm going to leave it right where it is. Well, I think that's pretty much all I have. These are the different shims right here you can put in. There's different thicknesses. This is an 84 thousandths. This one here is a 48 thousandths. And then this was the used 69 thousandths that I took out. I guess in hindsight, maybe I should have put this one in, and it would have given me probably at least another 1 or 2 thousandths clearance. But I'm happy right now with the 36 thousandths. So what I have in there is this one. It's just new. This is a 69 thousandths clear. This is a 69 thousandths shim. So you can also, the hardened steel washer that's on the back side of that, you can change that too. There's different thicknesses of those that you can buy. You can actually buy a whole shim kit if you want to, but this is what came in my rebuild kit as far as the seal kit, so that's what I use. So I guess the next thing to tackle, since that's all back together, is the valve body. So from what I understand, I am going to have to go ahead and pull the pump out because the shift kit that I'm going to be putting in, the Transgo shift kit in a valve body, it will come with nylon pump seals instead of the steel seals that's in here. So I'm going to have to take the pump back out to change those. So I guess with that being said, that's pretty much all I have for this evening. If you guys don't mind, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll talk to you guys later on.